Have you ever noticed that some of your happiest, calmest moments come when no one else is around? When the noise fades, the expectations disappear, and for the first time, your mind feels like it can finally breathe. This isn't strange, and it isn't weakness. Psychology says this quiet happiness has a deep reason, and once you understand it, the way you see yourself and others may completely change. According to psychology, when we are constantly around people, our brain stays in a state of alert. We are always adjusting. What should I say? How should I act? What do they think of me? Am I doing enough? Am I being judged? There is no audience, no performance, no need to react. One powerful reason solitude feels good is because it brings us closer to our true self. Around others, we often wear invisible masks. We adapt to expectations, roles, and social rules. We become versions of ourselves that fit the situation. But when we are alone, there is no role to play, no mask to wear, just you and your thoughts. That freedom, the ability to exist without pretending, is deeply comforting to the human mind. Psychologists explain that people who are comfortable in solitude often have strong inner stability. Their sense of happiness doesn't depend entirely on attention, validation, or approval from others. Instead of constantly looking outward, they turn inward. They can sit with their thoughts, memories, and emotions without running away from them. For such people, solitude doesn't feel empty, it feels full. Solitude also activates something important in the brain called the default mode network. This is the mental state where reflection, creativity, and deep thinking occur. When you are alone, your mind naturally begins to connect ideas, revisit experiences, imagine the future, and search for meaning. This is why writers, artists, thinkers, and innovators often crave solitude. It's not loneliness, it's mental space where insight is born. Another reason solitude feels peaceful is emotional clarity. When we are around others, we unconsciously absorb their moods. Stress, anger, insecurity, and anxiety can quietly transfer from one person to another. Solitude removes that emotional noise. It allows you to feel your own emotions clearly, without interference. And clarity brings calm. Calm brings happiness. Psychology also highlights that everyone has a different social energy limit. Some people gain energy from social interaction, while others lose it. Introverted individuals, in particular, recharge through solitude. For them, being around people for too long causes mental exhaustion. Solitude isn't a preference, it's a necessity. It restores balance, focus, and emotional strength. Being alone also creates space for self-reflection. In solitude, people naturally review their choices, mistakes, desires, and direction in life. They begin asking honest questions. What do I really want? Am I living for myself or for others? This kind of reflection builds self-awareness, and self-awareness creates inner peace. When your life starts aligning with your own values instead of external expectations, happiness feels more natural and stable. Solitude also offers emotional freedom. Around others, we often suppress what we truly feel. We hide sadness, fake smiles, control reactions, and censor honesty. Alone, those restrictions disappear. You can be quiet, emotional, thoughtful, or still without explanation. This emotional honesty releases inner tension and lightens the heart. Psychology makes a clear distinction between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness hurts because it feels forced, unwanted, and empty. Solitude heals because it is chosen. The difference is not the presence of people, it's the presence of control. When you choose to be alone, it becomes empowering rather than painful. Solitude also strengthens your relationship with yourself. You begin listening to your inner voice instead of drowning it out with noise. You become emotionally independent. And people who are emotionally independent build healthier relationships because they don't expect others to fill their inner gaps. Psychology doesn't teach us to escape people. It teaches us to understand ourselves. Enjoying solitude doesn't mean you dislike others. It means you've learned where your peace comes from. Solitude doesn't weaken you. It reconnects you. It doesn't isolate you. It grounds you. That's why sometimes a quiet room, a silent night, or a moment alone feels more healing than a crowd of people ever could. Happiness in solitude is not emptiness, it's self-connection, and psychology tells us that this connection is essential for mental health, emotional balance, and inner strength. If this perspective made you see solitude differently, take a moment to reflect on your own quiet moments. And if you enjoy deep psychological insights like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Stay connected, because sometimes the most powerful conversations happen in silence, and we explore them together.